Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Coaching Union Podcast. Today, we have another extra innings segment. As some of you may have noticed, the BPS branding showing up lately on socials and the podcast clips. And that's because the Coaching Union is actually part of something much bigger, a connected ecosystem we call BPS Performance. Now, BPS Performance isn't just a brand. It's a framework, it's a philosophy, and it's a mission. It includes the Long Beach Legends, our collegiate summer baseball team based in Southern California. It includes our BPS mentoring services, which aims to help both players and coaches develop across the biopsychosocial spectrum. And of course, it includes this podcast, the Coaching Union, where we bring together ideas, conversations that challenge the way we coach and perform. Everything we do, every camp, every conversation, every lift in the gym lives under the same umbrella, BPS. So what is BPS, and what does it mean to coach through that lens? Let's start simple. BPS stands for bio, psycho, social, biological, psychological, and social. It's a model of holistic development, which means we look at an athlete, not a set of skills or stats, but as a complete human being. Now, this isn't a buzzword or a trendy slogan. The biopsychosocial model has real roots in science. It was first proposed back in 1977 by a psychiatrist named George Engel. He was working in medicine, and he challenged what was called the biomedical model, the idea that illness or performance problems were purely physical, purely mechanical. Engel said no. People are more than just bodies. They're a system of mind, body, and environment that interact constantly. And in performance, that's exactly what we see every single day. The athlete who's strong and powerful in training, but freezes in pressure situations. The player who thrives when surrounded by good teammates, but collapses when they feel isolated. Or the coach who knows the technical drills, but struggles to communicate or connect with players. That's the biopsychosocial model in action. It reminds us that everything we do as humans, whether we're performing, coaching, or recovering, happens inside a web of biology, psychology, and social connection. Let's break it down a bit more. First, the biological. This is the physical side, the strength, the speed, the movement, the sleep, nutrition, injury prevention, recovery, anything technical to do with your swing, your pitching mechanics, all the stuff most people already think when they hear performance. But biology is more than muscles and numbers. It's also your energy availability, your nervous system state, your sleep debt, and your ability to adapt to stress. The biological corner sets the stage. It's your hardware, but the hardware only runs well when the software, which is your mind and your environment, are working with it, not against it. Next, the psychological. The psychological side is the inner game. That's your motivation, your focus, your confidence, self-awareness, resilience, mental toughness, all the mindset pieces that determine how you interpret challenge, failure, and success. This is where so much of the game is actually played. You can have perfect mechanics, but if you don't have belief or composure under pressure, performance breaks down. And equally, you can have a player with average skills, average size, average strength, but elite levels of focus and grit, and they'll keep climbing when others plateau. At BPS, we work with players and coaches to train this side just as intentionally as we train the physical, because mental skills are not soft skills, they're performance skills. Finally, we have the social side, which is probably the most overlooked, but arguably the most powerful. This includes relationships, communication, team culture, leadership, belonging, trust, and adaptability. Humans are social animals, And sport is a social performance. If players don't feel safe to make mistakes, they'll play tight. If coaches don't connect with athletes, feedback won't land. And if teams don't have psychological safety, they'll never reach their true ceiling. That's why we spend so much time in BPS on our environments, not just exercises, because you can't build great players in poor environments. So when you put all three together, biopsychosocial, you get a living, breathing system. You get the BPS model. It's the belief that everything is everything. And that phrase, everything is everything, is kind of like our number one rule of performance. Because in the real world, nothing happens in isolation. Your sleep affects your recovery affects your energy affects your mood affects your focus affects your movement, and your movement affects your performance. It's all connected, constantly feeding back and looping together. That's why at BPS, we don't just train athletes, we develop people. Because when you improve the human, the performance follows. Now, let's talk what this actually looks like in practice. When we run our mentoring program, it's not just a Zoom chat about performance goals. It's a structured process where we look at what's happening biologically, psychologically, and socially in that athlete's world. We look for levers that need to be pulled, low-hanging fruit, because performance is usually not about doing more. It's about connecting the right dots. And when we talk about coaching education, the coaching union, this podcast, this community, it's the same. We're trying to help coaches think across all three dimensions: the science behind it, the psychology, and the social side of sport. Because coaching isn't just about knowing drills or tactics. It's about understanding humans. So if you want to create resilient, adaptable, high-performing athletes, you have to coach through a BPS lens. That means you care about their sleep as much as their swing, you care about their mindset as much as their metrics, and you care about their connections as much as their conditioning. When you do that, everything changes. Players start to own their own development. Teams start to build real trust. And coaches start to coach the whole person, not just the player. That's what BPS Performance is about. It's not a brand for us. It's a blueprint. It's a system. It's a framework for how we teach our collegiate players with the legends. It's a blueprint for how we mentor young British athletes who dream of playing abroad, and a blueprint for how we want to help more people, coaches, players, organizations, build environments that truly develop humans for the long run. Because performance isn't linear, development isn't mechanical, and people, athletes, coaches, all of us are systems, not machines. So when you hear BPS Performance, know that you're hearing about a way of seeing the game and life as connected. That's the heart of everything we do, and that's the journey we're inviting you to be a part of. Thanks for listening to this episode of the Coaching Union podcast, powered by BPS Performance, where we believe everything is everything. If you're interested in hearing more about BPS Performance, feel free to reach out to me at thecoachingunion@gmail.com. Can't wait for the next episode. Thank you so much for listening. And until next time, keep growing. Bye, everyone.